guys, okay, so my most viewed video by far, like literally by like 200,000 views, is my water marbling, how to tie-dye your nails video. And basically, if you don't know what that looks like, these are my nails right now, water marbled. It's really cool, I think. You can't really see all the different oh, there, that's better. Just because I did use like all blues in this, but I think it looks flat anyways. So I probably get somewhere between 25 to 50 comments a day on that video saying, I'm trying this and it's failing, help me. So I'm gonna help you. This is why I'm here. This is what this video is for. That video, when I put it up, I literally just wanted to give you a different color combination that you could use. So I use like tie-dye colors, which to me are just like the rainbow colors. I don't really explain anything in that video. Like, I don't say like why I'm doing this or whatever. It was literally just put up so that you had a concept of what kind of colors you could mix together to make it happen. I did put up a video before that, which doesn't have nearly as many views, and it is linked in the down bar of that video, which was a full description on how to do it step by step, beginning to end. So if you want to know that, before you want to watch the I tried this and it failed video, which is this one, I will link it below and I will annotate it right here. And then I will link my tie-dye video right here, so you can check that one out as well. So hopefully this video is helpful. Like I said, I get so many comments a day. People are like, help me! And so I'm going to. And yeah, okay, so I wrote down my top 20 most asked questions. Can you see that? So I'm just going to answer them for you. Okay, so the first question is, what do you need to do this? You need nail polish. You can use any kind of nail polish you want. You need tape, masking tape, scotch tape, whatever kind of tape you feel like using. You need toothpicks. These aren't toothpicks, these are Q-tips. You need Q-tips or some sort of cotton swab. Nail polish remover, mine's in a jar because it's the kind that you stick your finger in and then swirl around. You need some sort of pokey thing with the sharp edge. I use this. I think I'm pretty sure it's like a pimple popper. It has like the thing on this end where you like press it and then the pimple explodes. It's kind of gross. And then this end, I don't know what this end was for, but I never used it, so I'm using it for my nails. Or you can just use a toothpick. This is not necessary at all. You need your nails, obviously. You need some sort of base color. I always use white. You can use whatever color you want, but I always use white. And then you need water and a container. This container has water in it, so I have to be careful. This is just a little glass container. It used to house a candle. The candle finished, whatever, got used up. So this is what I use it for. I've been using the same jar for like 2 years, since the very first time I ever water marbled my nails. So yeah, I would recommend using something that you don't need to throw out, just because then you're not creating a whole bunch of garbage, and that's just how I do things. 2, what kind of water is best to use? Now, there are people who swear that the only water you can use is room temperature filtered water. This is the biggest lie I have ever heard in my entire life. Okay, maybe not the biggest, but it's pretty high up there. I use tap water. People will swear to you left, right, sideways, up and down, diagonally, across whatever, that you cannot use tap water. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I use tap water every time I do it, and I never have an issue. So use whatever kind of water you have available. If you have filtered water, use that. If you have Brita water, use that. If you have bottled water, use that. If you have tap water, use that. Just use whatever water you want to use. The next is, do you add anything into the water? No, it's like straight up water. Like, this is a water bottle that I filled from the tap because I reuse my water bottles, and I took this and poured it into here, and that's all I'm adding. I'm not adding any nail polish remover. I'm not adding nail polish thinner. I'm not adding anything at all. Straight up water. What brand of nail polish can you use? You can use any brand you want. There are people who say high-end brands work better. There are people who say only the low-end brands work better. Seriously, guys, the ones that I'm wearing today and the nail polish that I showed you in the video, just because they're the ones I showed you, happen to be Finger Paints, Color Club, and China Glaze. My water marbling video with the tie-dye one, with the rainbow colors, I used Sally Hansen nail polishes, I used Claire's nail polish, I used Finger Paints nail polish, I used China Glaze nail polish, and I'm pretty sure I used some Sinful colors as well. So, seriously, you can use whatever kind you want. My original water marbling video, I used Finger Paints and I used OPI nail polish. It doesn't matter. Not all nail polishes spread the same, so some might be harder to work with than others. But you can, in theory, use any kind of polish that you want. There is no rule that says this brand is better or this brand is better. Okay, the next most asked question, this is like 6 minutes, I'm only on number 4. This is going to be a long-ass video, I apologize. Number 4, when I put the nail polish in the water, do I submerge the brush? No. I'm literally taking it out. See how it's dripping? That's how I'm going to hold it. Pretend that this is the thing of water. I'm just going to hold the nail polish over, and it's going to drip off the brush and land into the water. I'm not taking this and like shoving it down into the water. Like, just let it drip off. Okay, the next most asked question, and this one probably is like the first most asked question, but I tried to put them in chronological order of the way that you do things, is my nail polish doesn't spread. It just makes little balls in the bottom of the water. This is your issue. People say that it's because of water temperature. Personally, I've used cold water to do this. I have used room temperature water to do this. I have used warm water to do this. I don't like hot water, the feeling of it in my skin, so I try to avoid that. The reason that it is making balls in the bottom of the water, it is because the nail polish is hitting the water with too much force, which means that you're either opening it up, and instead of letting it drip, you're like, I'm going to wipe it off so that it doesn't go everywhere. You're like shaking at it so that the little ball of nail polish comes off the edge. Or you're not wiping it off the side and you're just pulling it up like that. I can't even do it. Pulling it up like that and there's too much pressure, or you're holding it too far away from the nail polish. You're holding the nail polish too far away from the water. So it's hitting the water with too much force and it's just sinking. Make sure that you're at like, I don't know, if this is my water, I'm going to probably hold the nail polish like right here as I drop it. My water's full to about there. So that it's not submerged, but so that when it hits the water, it's delicate enough that it'll just sit on top and then spread. The next question I get a lot is, when I put the nail polish in the water, it's not mixing with the water. It's just creating a film on the top of the water. That is exactly what you want it to do. The nail polish in the water do not mix. It's like water and oil. They don't mix together. You cannot mix them. It will sit on top of the water and it will create a layer, and that's what you're going to be using to dip your nails into. Like, that's the layer is what you want. You want it to be like a skin over top of the water. I put the nail polish in the water, the first few colors spread, and then I do a certain color and it stops spreading. Okay. Not all nail colors will work. That doesn't mean not all nail brands will work. It means not all nail polishes will work because different colors have different chemical, compound, whatevers, okay? So it might not spread. This doesn't mean that you can't use that polish in the water marbling. If you get to a color that doesn't spread, keep adding the rest of your colors. Just keep dropping them right in the center and it will spread them out. It will work, believe me. I'm going to start off with the pale blue, and I'm going to drip it in, and it's going to spread. Some spread slower than others. You want to do this and work quickly. Now, I know because I just did it for these two nails, some of these colors spread a lot better than the rest. As you can see, the gold is spreading, but not as well as the first blue. And we'll put in this greeny blue. Okay, I know that the next blue I'm using stops, it doesn't spread. It doesn't spread very well at all. Okay? So as you can see, it's not moving. Don't give up. Just keep putting your colors in, because the nail polishes that do spread will force pressure onto it and it will spread them. And if it doesn't, like this, you see that it's still, like it's fighting against it. It doesn't want to spread no matter what. Just keep adding your colors. Don't give up. It is not the end of the world. I chose these colors because I knew some of them wouldn't spread. The fact that they don't spread has nothing to do with the brand. It has to do with the color itself. Most of my China Glaze spread perfectly fine, but for some reason this one blue doesn't spread when I water marble. So as you can see, the darker blue is slowly getting bigger, but that's because I'm putting the rest of my colors in. I'm not stopping, so it's forcing it to be pushed open. Why do I have to tape off my nails? Here's the thing. You don't have to tape off your nails. I tape off my nails because it makes cleanup one heck of a lot easier. To tape off your nails, you need a few pieces of tape. It doesn't matter what kind of tape you use. Usually I use Scotch tape, which is the clear tape. But for this demonstration, I'm using colored masking tape so that you can see exactly where I'm placing the masking tape. In my last video, a lot of people thought that the tape went over your nail, and I guess that because I was using clear tape, you could assume that. So I'm just going to show you what I do with the tape. The first piece, I'll do it on my thumb, I put around the base of my finger up as close to the edge of my nail as possible. And then I just wrap it around. So that's what it looks like. Then I take a second piece and I put it right up as close to under my nail as possible. I fold it over so that it's along the edge of my fingernail on both sides. Press it down and ensure that it's on there well. As you can see, there's a little bit of skin showing. I could put a few more pieces if I wanted to, so that I didn't have to use nail polish remover once I dip my finger in to get that off, but it's fine, I don't mind. I'm just gonna leave it. As you can see, the tape is completely covering my finger. It is not on my nail, so that the nail polish in the water goes directly onto my nail. Okay, so this is what happens. I have my colors in the water, and I've taped off one of my nails, and I'm just going to show you what happens if you don't use tape and if you do use tape. If you don't have tape, don't use tape, but it will be messier. So I'm just going to put both of these fingers in the water so that you can see what I mean. Okay, so as you can see, both my nails are marbled. This finger, because there's the tape, when I take the tape off, it's going to be perfectly clean. All of this nail polish on this finger is on my actual skin, which means that, I mean, it's not going to kill me, but it's going to be a lot harder to get it off. Okay, so I'm just going to peel this tape off. Okay, once the tape is removed from my skin, you can see how much little nail polish there actually is on my skin. The back of my finger doesn't have any at all. The front of my finger only has a tiny little bit right along the edge of the cuticle, which you can use a nail or a cotton swab dipped in some nail polish remover to get off. For this hand, I'm going to literally have to get all the nail polish off and sit there and scrub at it. Is there an alternative to tape? I have never tried anything other than tape, but I have heard that you can use Vaseline and put that around your fingers, or that you can use lotion and put that around your fingers, and that it will still make the nail polish come off easy so that you don't have a lot of cleanup. I've never tried this because I don't trust myself and I feel like I would find a way to screw that up, so I stick to tape. This is probably a hugely asked, a really often asked question as well, is do you need to paint your nails white first? You don't. You don't need to paint your nails any color first. But here's the thing. Painting your nails white first puts down a base color. If you're using a whole bunch of different colors, it ensures that all the colors come out to their fullest, brightest potential. Because when you put the nail color, the nail polish, into the water, it spreads out, right? So it thins out the color, because you're not getting like a full streak of color, you're getting this thin layer of color. So by putting a white under, it brings back the vibrancy. If you don't do white, or if you don't do anything and it's just your nail underneath, when you're finished, you will be able to still see your nail underneath. It won't be a solid, like it won't be like solid nail color. Now that doesn't mean you need to use white. Let's say you were doing a look like mine where every color that you're using is a blue or a shade of blue. You could start your nails off with the lightest blue that you own, right? I'm just saying if you're using multiple colors, different kinds of colors, and you want those colors to be as true to the color in the bottle as possible, you want to start off with a white base. This question is where most people screw this up. They go, okay, so this is the question. The colors are finally spread out, but I go to make the design, I go to draw the design, and the whole thing picks up out of the water. What am I doing wrong? Next thing that a lot of people do wrong is when they start to draw their pattern, they see me do it and they go, oh, how do you do that? Mine moves around. If you start from the inside and pull out, you shouldn't have an issue. If you start from the outside and pull in, you want to make sure you're not using the very outer or the second outermost ring of color. You want to start around the third ring to draw your design. Otherwise, if you go to the very outside edge, that's going to happen and it's just going to scoop up all your color and you're not going to get to be able to dip your nail in it. Why do I have to do each nail individually? You don't. You can do one nail at a time. You can do two nails at a time. If your bowl's big enough, you could do your whole hand all at once. The only thing is that every time you dip your nails, you need to make sure that all of your nails hit the water at the exact same time, which is why most people do one nail at a time, because they can control that. If you have if you're doing, let's say, 3 nails, and you go to submerge them in the water, and one nail hits it first, as that nail hits the surface of the water and gets the polish onto it, it's going to move it, and it's going to move it out of the way of your other nails. So unless you're positive that you can make the tops of your nails hit the water at the exact same time, I would recommend doing one at a maximum of 2 nails at a time. I've gotten to the point where I can do 3 nails at a time, so it takes me, only have to spread the polish out 4 times to do all 10 of my fingers, because I do 3, 3, and then these 2 and these 2. But I've been water marbling for 2 years, so you might not be able to do that. The next question kind of relates, and it's why do I have to clean the polish out every time I dip my nail? Because what I show you to do is you dip your nail in, and then you clean off the surface of the water before you lift it up. Now what happens is if you don't do that, as you lift it up, that nail polish that's on the surface is going to move. It's going to stick to your nail. It's going to get goopy. It's going to get glommy. It's going to get really nasty, and it's going to ruin your design. Nail into the water. You can see that there's all this extra nail polish there. The theory behind it is your nail's been dipped, so there's already polish stuck to it. When you clean this out, you pull your nail up, and it comes out clean. If I weren't to do that, and I pull it up again, all the little chunks of nail polish and the film of nail polish that's still there is going to get back onto this nail. So as I pull it up, it gets a second coating of polish. If that's a design that you like, then by all means go for it. You can see there's still water there with nail polish. You could dip another finger. But the action of breaking apart the film of nail polish creates these little holes, which will also show up in the next nail that you dip. There won't be any color there. So you get a double swirl, which if you like that, that's cool. But if you don't and you want it to be neat and tidy, I would suggest cleaning the water. And your next nail won't have a solid, clean color on it. This one's kind of, one that I get a lot, and it's just people saying, like, I'm never going to do this because it's such a waste of nail polish. If you only have maybe 3 bottles of nail polish, and it's the first time you're doing this, and you're dipping one finger at a time, yeah, I could see how you would think it's a waste of nail polish. My nail polish collection is more than 300 nail colors. So I can afford, I guess, to use a lot of nail polish. However, I'm at a stage now where I've been doing this for so long that I only need to drip the nail polish into the water 4 times, and I have all my fingers done. So it's not really that many. Plus, what you have to remember is that when you do this, you're only doing 1 coat. Some nail polishes you get are super thin, and you have to do 4 coats of them just to get the color on, right? So think about how much nail color that's using when you're doing all 10 of your fingers. So it's all relative. That's what I'm saying. How long do I keep my nails submerged in the water? The amount of time your nail is in the water doesn't matter at all. It has no effect on the nail polish. The only reason you need to keep your nail under, you can't dip it in and dip it and pull it straight out, is because you need to be able to clean off the surface of the water. If you dip your nail in, clean the surface off in like a second, you can take your nail out and it will be just as fine as if it takes you 10 seconds to clean the top of the nail of the water off. So it has nothing to do, the result of your nails doesn't have anything to do with how long your fingers are submerged for. Next one is, how deep do I dip my nails? Once again, how deep you dip your nails and how big your bowl needs to be is based on how many fingers you're doing at a time. What you want to keep in mind is that when you're picking a container, pick a container with a small top, because the wider it is, the more nail polish you're going to have to use. The thinner it is, the less nail polish you're going to have to use, so you're going to be saving some. You're dipping your nail in as deep as it needs to go for there to be nail polish on all of your nail, and that's it. Do the polishes I use have to be like a cream finish, like a solid cream finish? No, they don't. You can use shimmery ones, you can use glittery ones, you can use sparkly ones. I don't know what the difference between sparkly is between glittery and shimmery, but whatever. You can use cream colors, you can use metallic nail polish, you can use any kind of nail polish in existence that you want to use. So the second last question is, how long does it last? It lasts however long your manicure would normally last. If you do your nails and then, you know, you're a painter and you paint all day and your nails have paint on them and they're hitting things and you're being rough or, you know, whatever, and your nails chip, then that's because of how rough you're being with them. If you paint your nails and, you know, you have somebody that does everything for you, then it's going to last a whole lot longer. And it also depends on the actual nail polish that you use. If you use, you know, I don't know, for me, like Sally Hansen Extreme Wear, that's a really great brand to use with water marbling, just because if you don't have very many polishes, or if you don't have very many polishes, you can buy those for a really inexpensive price, and they work really well for water marbling. And they last a long time on your nails. I find that those don't chip at all. Now for me, OPI chips insanely quickly. I know a lot of people love it and swear by it, but I think it chips on, well, I know on my nails it chips really easily. So I'm not going to, you know, use an OPI color half the time because I don't want to put all this effort into doing my nails and then it chip off. It also changes whether you decide to put a base coat, like an actual base coat before you put your solid color. It changes based on, you know, if you put a top coat once you're done marbling. There's so many different things that change how long your nail polish is going to last on your fingers, but it's going to last the same amount of time as any other manicure that you do. So the last question, and I get this a lot, and it's kind of a surprising question to me, and it's, how do I take it off? It's just nail polish, so you take it off with nail polish remover. There's no special anything else to it. That's all you have to do. Just nail polish remover on a cotton pad and you just rub it off. So yeah, I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, please leave them below. And I'm sure eventually I'll have enough to be able to do a second part to this video of a what can go wrong. But I hope that I don't have to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.